Hi, and thanks for tuning in. Today I'm joined by one of our team, Osteopath Dr Kris Sanford, who joined us a couple of years ago. And today I thought I'd just interview Kris and find out a little bit more about his background, where he's from, how he led down the path of becoming an osteopath. So, welcome, Kris.
Thank you very much for having me. It's good to be here.
Now, tell me, Kris, you haven't always been living in Sydney. In fact, you've only been here a very short time.
No, pretty new.
Pretty new. Tell me a little bit about where you grew up, how you ended up studying osteopathy, and how you ended up living in Sydney. But first of all, tell us, where did you grow up?
As you said, I'm not originally from Sydney. I grew up in country Victoria, very small town. It's a beautiful place, a place called Blampede, which you definitely have to Google. There's not a chance anyone knows this. I'll be proven wrong. I definitely will be, but...
Blampede,
near Ballarat, so beautiful area, incredibly cold. Did all my schooling in Ballarat, when I was young, a lot of sports, all my sports teams and stuff like that were there, which was essentially my first introduction to allied health, I guess the manual therapy field, with having different sporting injuries, different biomechanical issues with stuff like that. So that was kind of my introduction to the field of osteopathy. Although I didn't actually see an osteopath first to get introduced to it. When I was quite young, I saw numerous physiotherapists and numerous chiropractors because in Ballarat there wasn't too many osteopaths kicking around. And then the way I actually got introduced to osteopathy was from someone who was studying osteopathy. And so I'd ask him a whole bunch of questions. I'm pretty curious about most things, so I'd always ask about questions to do with what the practitioner was doing, why they were doing it, all these different types of things. And then he kind of explained why you were studying osteo, what it was, why it was a little bit different and stuff like that. And it really clicked with me, that kind of being able to work on the muscles and the bones and just the biomechanical viewpoint of it, I really clicked with, which was good.
Fantastic. Now, what were the sports you were playing when you were younger?
Classic Victorian. I played AFL when I was younger. Pretty much my whole childhood played AFL. The centre of any country town in Victoria and probably New South Wales with rugby teams, is the hub is almost always a footy team. So played footy for my whole childhood, and then about 16 I picked up soccer as well after it was earlier than 16, but after the 2006 World Cup, Australia did pretty well at, and the media got on board with soccer. I jumped on the soccer bandwagon with some friends from school. We joined a team, had a great time, and then in summer played tennis, a little bit of cricket at the nets. Didn't really ever dabble in cricket on the field. Too boring.
Sounds like you've had a go at everything though, really.
Oh yeah, just dabble around. I had an older brother, so we're always playing sports in the backyard, completely ruining the garden for my mother, and try and have a go at most sports.
Were you doing any of the typical country boy sports? Were you riding horses? I'm just throwing the question out there.
I have ridden horses before. Not.
So polo wasn't your game or anything like that?
Might be now. I might pick it up now.
Cow pushing.
Cow tipping.
Cow tipping.
No. It was a good innocent boy.
You were well behaved.
Okay. No, I actually didn't. No, it was mostly AFL, cricket, bit of golf in the backyard. Good way to exercise the dog. Train the dog to go get the ball and come back. It's bigger than a tennis hit.
So lots of sports, lots of injuries, which led you to seeing different practitioners, and then you got interested in osteopathy from someone who was studying at the time.
Yep.
And then, of course, you applied for uni at RMIT, and you did the 5-year course down there.
Yep.
Did you ever consider anything else other than osteopathy?
I did. My the way I think is very engineering in its structure. I've grown up around engineers. I've always been in amongst that thought process of figuring out how something works, to figure out what aspects of the system might be more optimized, might be running at deficiencies, and figuring out where within a system you can actually have input. And I was tempted to go down either the engineering or architecture path. Okay. The reason I steered away from those is I really liked the thought process. I really liked the design aspect. I really liked most things about them, apart from the nitty-gritty day-to-day aspects. So with engineering, lots of time behind the screen, lots of work with numbers, like 50 hours a week looking at a screen, looking at numbers. Didn't quite sit too well with me.
Talking to people a bit more, and
I liked the grandeur and I liked the idea behind those things, but I didn't like the day-to-day grind. And I was honest enough with myself to realised that I really liked talking to people, communicating with people, and with my background with sport and injuries themselves, felt that maybe my skill set could be better used and better utilised elsewhere, and that led me to osteo.
Studying osteo.
Mm-hmm.
So you're a small town country boy. You moved to Melbourne. You were there for 5 years. What was the best part about Melbourne? I've been there a couple of times.
Been there a couple of times. Was not the weather. It might surprise you, but the weather was not the best thing.
It is chilly.
The good thing about the weather is you can rug up. It's always nice having a good few coats on and feeling that like nice cozy warmth. But I think that the culture in Melbourne's one of the best things. It's a really easy city to navigate because it's basically designed on the flat plain. You can get around, you can walk everywhere, you can go to a little cafe, there might be some live music going. It's a easy city to navigate. There's lots of great little cafes, which every Melbourne person will tell you cafes are the best.
A lot of fun when you're a student.
Oh yeah, so much coffee. Get through those sleepless nights. And then I think just being able to just go out and experience the culture. So a lot of my friends are very into music. I am as well. I absolutely love music. So being able to go to different gigs and just have live music playing in the background when you're out with friends, just chatting, is always a nice thing. But there's plenty of that in Sydney as well now that I've found anyway.
It is. It just takes a bit longer to get there because of traffic and all that sort of thing. So you joined us a couple of years ago. You've been here full time ever since. Obviously, you're not here every day of the week though. So what are you doing on your days off? What does Kris do when he's not treating patients and fixing neck and back and joint problems with people?
What else is there to this character? So probably most of my downtime, I suppose, which is more exciting. Most of my downtime I'll spend, if I have the chance, if it's not pouring with rain, which sometimes happens here. Most of my downtime I'll probably spend on the golf course.
Okay.
Love a bit of golf. Not particularly great at it. I'm okay. But not,
you're better than me.
Great.
We played once. We played a couple of months ago.
I'm decent enough, but not setting the world on fire. But absolutely love it. I'm one of the players that will always have about 3 or 4 balls in the bag because I know that I'm going to lose at least one. And my thought is, you might as well risk it to get the biscuit. Go for that crazy shot. Might come off, and you'll let people know about it.
All right. A man who likes to take risks.
Why not?
Okay, so golf is one. I also know that you're into tennis, aren't you?
Yeah. I play tennis with a few friends each week. It's a great social outlet. A lot of the guys I play with have desk jobs, and they're, as I kind of alluded to with engineering, they're kind of stuck behind the desk, either IT jobs or a couple of engineers, and it's a really good chance for them to get out and get their body moving, which, as you and me both know, is incredibly important. And it's a really good social outlet as well. So, we chat. It's not serious at all. It's kind of scored, but that's definitely not the point. And just a good chance to have fun and enjoy. And they try and teach me as much as they can about NRL, and I do as best I can to ignore what they say. I do know that I don't know when you'll be watching this, guys, but Game 1 has just happened.
Game 1 of the State of Origin just happened. The Blues smashed the Maroons.
Smoked them.
So most people who follow footy in New South Wales are very happy at the moment.
Yeah, stoked.
Yeah.
And my brother lives in Queensland at the moment, so I'm on the Blues bandwagon.
You're ribbing him.
Yeah, I'm letting him know about it. I'm with you guys.
Fantastic.
As blue as they can come from Victoria at the moment.
Well, welcome to the team.
That's fine. It might not be for the best emojis, but I'm there.
So let's learn a few other little random things about you. Food. Favorite food. What do you go for when you're hungry?
Feel like the old if you could eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Well, okay, I wasn't going to word like that, but sure thing. Let's go with that.
I'll tweak it to something I know how to answer. Well, to answer mine, I'd probably go with burgers because they're versatile. You can always have a different style of burger.
Okay.
Yeah, but favorite foods. I'm not too sure. I am vegetarian. That's probably something that is interesting, I suppose, on the food front.
Not commonly known, but
not commonly known, and especially not common from someone who grew up on a cattle farm. And it's mostly from health reasons. My family has quite a lot of cardiovascular health issues, and with a bit of research, being vegetarian is one of the ways that you can just help your body a little bit, possibly prevent that in the future. It's not a golden bullet. It's not something that's guaranteed, but
what age were you when you decided to become a vegetarian?
I think about 21, 22.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was a big step for me because I growing up on a farm, it was always meat and 3 veg. And being a uni student at that point in time, I had about 4 things that I could cook well, all of which had meat. So that was a struggle.
Are you the cook in the house?
Yeah, usually. I'm a very efficient cook. So I'll cook meals very much like a uni student. I'll cook a really big amount.
You cook on a Sunday night and that'll be the next 4 nights.
There's a bunch of stuff in the freezer.
Okay.
My freezer is just stacked with like different types of base meals. So
planning ahead.
Yeah, it's not the most interesting thing in the world, but gets the job done.
All right, so just to round off here, Kris, is there anything out there that that no one's going to know about you? Something maybe none of us, even who you work with, know about you.
Ooh,
a little glimpse into Kris. What is that? Something that really captures who you are. And
one of the things that I often get asked is, why did you move to Sydney? A lot of people are all up and about Melbourne, and it's one of the best cities in the world. It's always all those polls always let you know that
when they carried out in Melbourne, Melbourne tops the polls.
Yeah, Melbourne's up there. People are like, why would you leave? Why? And one of the things is, as you know, I did a little stint in India working in an orthopaedic hospital before moving to Sydney. And when I got back to Melbourne, it wasn't easy. It was just a bit monotonous. I knew what was going to happen. I knew roughly what the go was going to be. And I like to challenge myself. I like to see boundaries where they are and just see if I can push them or see if I can exceed past them. And it was one of those things that I'd done a little bit of work up here with you before. I'd come up and met Kev and really liked this clinic. I loved that it was progressive and it had lots of different people working together. And that was one thing that I liked about it, because there's other clinics that have lots of modalities, but they don't work together. They don't work cohesively together. And that's something that you push here really well. So I commend you for that. And it's incredible because it gets you to actually challenge how you think and stuff like that. So I thought this clinic and Sydney, it gave me a really good chance to challenge myself without having to completely jump ship and do something completely different. So I really like that about it, and I definitely don't regret it. Absolutely love the place.
Well, fantastic. Well, thanks very much for joining us, Kris.
Thank you for having me. It's been good fun.
It's been awesome having you it's awesome having you as a member of our team.
You flatter me.
And I'm sure we'll chat more about other things in the future.
Thank you very much, mate.
Take care.